Okay, good morning, guys. This is our first review sessions in this week. We are going to meet twice this week, today and also on Wednesday. I started recording to be able to follow the knowledge and to follow the information and to take notes at any time. I will upload this record on the YouTube channel, on the American Diploma or the American School channel on the YouTube. Okay, let's start now. We have 5 lessons to be included in the exam. In chapter 29 and also in chapter 31. We have 4 sections in chapter 29. We already finished all of them. The first one was marching toward war. Second one was Europe plunges into war, global conflict, and global peace. Today, we need to finish these first 3 sections in chapter 29. I will share another screen now. This one. Yes. The first section was marching toward war. We have many terms and also we have some terms and names. The first one was militarism, the meaning of militarism or the definition of militarism. As we always say, that all of these terms and the names are extremely important because you may have been questions in the exam over these terms and names. The first term here is militarism. Militarism means glorifying war and preparing for it. We have Triple Alliance is a military agreement between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Kaiser Wilhelm II was the Emperor of Germany. Triple Entente was a military agreement among Britain, France, and Russia. Okay, we have a question here, and also we have someone is talking. Okay, take before. Yes, of course, Omar. Okay, Abdurrahman is asking for the quizzes and also photos of all the quizzes. You can come at any time, Abdurrahman, to take any of your quizzes. And also for the last quiz, you are going to have this last quiz on the exam day. Okay, so if you are free, and also you can send anyone or you can pass by the school and take any of your quizzes. Okay, so today, let's finish our review section today. This is the first part. Why didn't peace last in Europe? Okay, we have another chat. Okay, mic with okay, can see screen. This is no voice. Yes, Heidi, you cannot hear me because you didn't activate your device audio. Sorry, your audio device. Okay, please again. On the top left corner, on the bottom left corner of your screen, there is a headset icon. Just press it, click on it twice. One to activate and one for okay. Once you activate this device, you will hear me well. Okay, so now, why didn't peace last in Europe? Many people in Europe had joined the groups to work for peace. However, developments would soon lead Europe into war. One of those developments was nationalism, a deep feeling of attachment to one's own nation. This force helped unify the people of a country. It also created competition between countries. By 1900s, 6 nations were rivals for power in Europe. If you remember, we have a question here. Who were the great powers of Europe at the beginning of the 19th century? These great powers were Germany, Austria, Hungary, Great Britain, Russia, Italy, and France. They competed economically and they competed for neighboring land. Okay? So again, just wait because there is someone who is trying to. Okay. So here, the first one was imperialism was another force that helped lead to war. France and Germany were each seeking to control parts of Africa. They almost came to war twice in the early 1900s. Mistrust was a huge problem. Omar, if you didn't stop to let us, I have to make you leave leave the meeting. Okay, so okay, I removed Omar from the meeting because he is distracting us with some notes during our discussion. Okay, so again. Yes. Okay, so now its imperialism was another force, again, that helped lead to war. France and Germany were each seeking to control parts of Africa. They almost came to war twice in the early 1900s. Mistrust was a huge problem. Okay, so now the third factor that leading to war was a growing arms race. Each country in Europe, except Great Britain, built a large army, glorifying war and preparing for a so-called militarism. The question now, what were the three factors leading to war? The first one was nationalism. Second one was imperialism. Sorry. Yes, just a minute, Abdurrahman. Okay. Second reason was imperialism. Third reason was militarism, which is used growing arms race. Okay, so now we have a question here. Okay, Abdurrahman, you can talk. You can unmute your mic and start talking if you want.
Sir, sorry, you said imperialism and militarism.
Please
And what of?
raise your voice, Abdurrahman, please.
Okay, you said uh, we have three factors: militarism and imperialism, and what also?
Yes, we have nationalism, imperialism, and the militarism. These are the three main factors that lead to war.
Okay,
Okay, which are
okay,
highlighted now, Abdurrahman. These are highlighted: nationalism, imperialism, and this is the definition of militarism. Okay, that is. Is it clear now?
yes,
Okay. So to the second section, sorry, to the second part of this section is that what caused the countries to fear one another? Growing rivalries led to nations to make military alliances. Prussian Chancellor Otto von Bismarck feared that France would want to revenge for its defeat in the Franco-Prussian War. He set out to isolate France. In 1879, he formed Triple Alliance with Austria, Hungary, and Italy. So the Triple Alliance were formed from Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. He also signed another treaty with Russia. Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany didn't want to share power with Bismarck. He forced Bismarck to resign and followed his own foreign policy. He led the agreement with Russia in. Russia soon allied itself with France. This alliance meant that Germany would have to fight enemies on its eastern and western borders. If there were a war with either country, Wilhelm then moved to make German navy larger. On another hand, and also on the other camp of the great powers, Britain grew alarmed. It began to build more ships. It also entered into triple entente. So we have two camps now. The first one was the Triple Alliance with Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. The second camp was Triple Entente, which was which formed from Britain, France, and Russia. The six great powers had now formed two camps: Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy against Britain, France, and Russia. Okay, so these are the two groups of nations developed: Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance. Okay, okay. So now to the third part. Sorry. What part did Balkans play in increasing tension? Meanwhile, trouble was brewing in the Balkans in southeastern Europe. Ottoman Empire controlled this area, but it was breaking apart. Both Austria, Hungary, and Russia wanted some of this land. That's why they called this area and this part of the world as a powder cake. If you remember, the Balkans Peninsula was named the powder cake before the First World War because it has more attention of the Ottoman Empire, Russia and Hungary, and also Russia, because all of these countries wanted some of the land of this area. The Kingdom of Serbia was also in this region. It wanted to bring other Slavic people who lived in the Balkans under its control. In 1908, Austria-Hungary seized Bosnia and Herzegovina. These lands had Slavic peoples. This action angered the Serbs. However, their Russian allies were unwilling to support them, and they backed down. By 1914, the situation was different. Serbia had gained land in other parts of the region and felt strong. Austria worried that Serbia might interfere with its control of Bosnia and Herzegovina. In June 1914, a Serbian killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir of the throne of Austria, and also his wife Sophie. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and Russia was the ally of Serbia. Russia came to Serbia's defense and declared war on Austria and Hungary. Soon, most of Europe was at war. That's how were Serbians involved in the start of World War I. That is the highlighted part of this section is the answer for question number 3. So, do you have any questions so far? Any questions so far? Any questions, guys? So no answers means, or silence means approval. That's no questions so far. So now let's go to the second section. Europe plunged into war. This is the second section, or section number 2 in chapter 29. Also, we have some terms and names which are also extremely important. The terms and the names in this section was Schlieffen Plan. It's a Germany plan for winning the war on two fronts. Allies Great Britain, France, Russia, and other nations who fought on their sides, they renamed their camp into allies. Central powers were Germany, Syria-Hungary, and other nations who fought on their side. They also named their camp Central Powers because of their location at the heart of Europe. Trench warfare was the name which called the fighting from trenches dug in the battlefield. Western Front is a region of northern France where much of fighting took place. Eastern Front was a region along German-Russian border where much fighting took place. Okay, as we said earlier, that if Germany had to fight against France and Russia, it means that they had to fight on two fronts, Eastern Front and Western Front. The Western Front was the French border, French-German border, and the Eastern Front was on the Russian-German border, which much of the fighting took place. Okay, so now how the war started and also how the war began. How did so many nations become involved? The system of alliance turned the war between Austria-Hungary and Serbia into a wider war. Russia moved against Austria-Hungary. It figured that Germany would support Austria and Hungary. So it moved the troops against Germany as well. Germany declared war on Russia. Soon after, it also declared war on Russia allies France. Germany had a plan for winning the war on two fronts. This was the Schlieffen Plan. According to the Schlieffen Plan, it called for the rapid push. Just wait. The summary of the Schlieffen Plan: a rapid push through France, quick defeat of that nation, and turn to face Russia in the east. To capture France quickly, Germany moved through Belgium. Belgium was a neutral country. Britain was outraged by Germany's action. It declared war on Germany. France, Britain, and Russia were called the allies. They were later joined by Italy, which switched its camp because they accused Germany of starting the war. That's why Italy switched to the allies camp. Morocco, Germany, and Syria, Bulgaria, and Ottoman Empire joined Germany and Syria-Hungary. They were called Central Power. So now, in the alliance, we have Great Britain, we have France, we have Russia, we have Italy, we have some other nations, and on the other side, we have Germany, Syria and Hungary, Bulgaria, Ottoman Empire, and some other nations. They call themselves the Central Power. Again, they call themselves the Central Power because of their locations at the heart of Europe. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 1. Okay, and also the summary of Schlieffen Plan is extremely important. Schlieffen Plan called for a rapid push through France and quick defeat of that nation and the turn to face Russia in the east. That is the summary of Schlieffen Plan. Okay, so now, what kind of warfare was used after German army moved almost to Paris? French defenses strengthened and stopped them in September 1914. Both sides became bogged down in a bloody. Okay, you have to finish in 10 minutes. So I will finish this section and start another meeting for the third section. Okay, we have only 10 minutes to finish this section. Okay, French defenses strengthened and stopped them in September 1914. Both sides became bogged down in a bloody conflict. Soldiers dug up trenches into the ground, which is called trench warfare. Trench warfare began, and when soldiers left the trenches to storm enemy lines, they faced powerful weapons, machine guns, tanks, poison gases, and larger pieces of artillery killed hundreds of thousands of soldiers. This was how the war was fought in France, which was called the Western Front. So what was the war like on the Western Front? All of this paragraph. Okay, so here, both sides were, and also to continue all of this, how the war was like in the Western Front. This is the answer for question number 2. The war on the Eastern Front showed more movement at first, but it was equally destructive. Russian armies attacked both Germany and Austria and Hungary. They had some early success, but were driven back in both places. One reason was that Russia didn't have a fully industrial economy. This is one reason for the defeat of Russia, is that they didn't have a fully industrial economy. It couldn't keep troops supplied. Still, Russia had a huge population and could send millions to war. The large Russian army provided a constant threat to Germany. That threat prevented Germany from putting its full resources against the allies in the West. So what weakens the strengths did Russians have? Also, is that the reasons that caused that Russia to withdraw from the war is that Russia didn't have a fully industrial economy. It couldn't keep troops supplied. And also the large Russian army provided constant threat to Germany. This threat prevented Germany from putting all resources against allies in the West. That is the answer for question number 3, and this is the end of section number 2. I have to end the meeting now and start another meeting for the third section, and also to have any of your questions. So before ending this meeting, do you have any questions so far? Okay. So I will end the meeting now. Yes, on the same link, Abdurrahman. We will continue on the same link. Okay, I will end the meeting now, and also will stop sharing and end the meeting. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Just a couple of minutes, and we'll start again.